Hello, Greg from Balloon Market here, and welcome to a very unusual BMTV. This week we are going to be talking to somebody that we've talked to before, and it is the boss, the man, the managing director that is Jonathan Grassi from Grabo. However, he's not here, so we're going to do that by Skype. So I've got Jonathan here on the computer. I will be wearing my headphones to talk to Jonathan to try and stop any feedback on the audio, but Jonathan, hello.
Greg, hello. Thank you very much for inviting me and giving me the possibility to have a chat with you and with all of the balloon market television world and the balloon decorators worldwide. Thank you very much. I'm very sorry I didn't shave. I'm just really sorry.
It's a good look. It looks better on you than it did on me when I had my little grey beard for a little while. So yeah, Jonathan, thank you very, very much for doing this. Before we get asking the questions that are probably on everybody's mind, how are things with Grabo?
Well, thank you for asking. Things with Grabo, let's say, always standardized. We work very hard over here. Because the business is always complicated. And when we get into discussion, I'll explain why we work very hard and what the consequences of our efforts are. Obviously, we've had a small setback in our sales given the helium problem, but we're trying to overcome the helium problem. Obviously, I've seen that other balloon producers are developing our same strategy, so trying to build air-filled compositions, air-filled bouquets. But this is not stopping us. We realize it's a very complicated moment right now for all the business. We are actually issuing the new catalog very soon, and I'll personally write down a couple of words on the state of the art of the industry regarding helium problems and plastic problems. So I'd say that this is a very complicated period between plastic and helium. But the good thing about the bad period is that it's going to eventually end. So we are all waiting for it to end. Hopefully it'll start its descent in 2020, and it will finish in 2021 when we'll have 2 new gas stations open in North Africa and in Russia. But bottom line is always raise your game, and that's what we do over here all the time.
Yeah. So there are challenges. I think we're all aware that there are the helium challenges, and as you say, that's going to be coming to hopefully a close in the next couple of years. So then there'll be plenty of helium, and there are the other challenges of plastic as well. But what are the latest products? I see some stars behind you that I think are we stocking those now? I think we are. What are your new products that you're most excited about?
Oh, these I'm really happy about. These are really doing a great job. I think it was a small niche that was uncovered by the producers in the market, and I am very happy to say that these are doing very well. We've been selling them worldwide. We've been continuing the reorders. So I'm definitely. It's simple. It's nice. It's a balloon that any decorator can play with. Yeah. It's open, to imagination, to creativity. So I'm very happy with the balloon. Thank you very much. And giving the sales, I'm confident that our client, our customer base, has also liked them. We're going to continue down this line, and we're going to expand on this kind of idea. Yeah. When it comes down to foil balloons.
Oh, great. Okay, cool. So, Jonathan, obviously the reason for the call is I wanted to discuss with you a big decision that you've made in your business and how that has affected things over here in the UK, and that is the decision to work with New Look. And I just want to find out the reasons why you went down that route. Explain to us the decision-making process and how this ended up coming about.
Yes, I'm very happy to. I actually thank you for giving me the possibility to speak, well, not directly, but via BMTV to all of the people that have always supported and are still supporting our business. it's something that I feel that I have to do because openness and honesty has always been a key factor of our business, of my personality, of all of the members of our family, my brother, and all the people that are working here. So thank you for giving me the possibility to explain all of this. How independent balloon decorators feel now is something that has always been deep embedded in my heart and something that is a major concern to me. But let me take you through the decision process of how these things actually happen. It doesn't work like I would knock on somebody's door saying, well, I have an idea that, that will probably upset my client base, but I want to give to you. This is not how things work. It's a very subtle situation. It's more political than business. This is how it happens. This is how it goes. Some person, some party, it's a person, okay, comes to me and says, well, I have this idea. I think it's a good idea, and I will be looking for a basket of supplies to sell directly into X shops into Y countries. So this doesn't just affect the UK market for me. In business, if you make more sales, it's not about making more money, but it's about having the possibility to feed your company more resources in order to do a better job in output. So this is one side. What happens if I don't go in?
Yeah.
If I don't go in, my competitor goes in, and I lose market share, and I sustain my competitor. Whatever decision I would have made, I would have obviously had to suffer on the one side and gain on the other side.
Yeah, I understand. I really wanted to know why, are you still going to be supporting the retailers and the decorators? And what can we do about the people that are feeling slightly betrayed? How can you, what would you say to those people?
And I'm pretty sure that there's going to be a portion of people from this community that are going to, twist their eyes and say, oh my God, this is... But obviously we do strongly support the balloon business. We support the independent decorators, and this is only a limited operation that we went into the UK. So obviously it won't explode. And as a matter of fact, this was something I wanted to touch base on later on during our conversation to keep it smooth. But I'll talk about it now. I think one of the key points here was, okay, we can support New Look selling balloons. Okay, we can support New Look selling balloons on a bouquet. Fine. We can support them being in 200 shops on the whole national territory in Ireland. But, why those prices? Because I've seen a lot on the prices. And I was very upset on the prices. We're working on the prices because it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's not going to be profitable for the retailer, and obviously it's going to damage our market, and by devaluing the value of not a balloon but of a composition of labor.
So they've gone in quite cheap, is that what you're saying?
They've gone in too cheap.
Yeah.
But that's something that we're working on, and that will be sorted out by the end of the year. An increase in prices that will keep a nice, fair market. Now, I wanted to touch base on the consequences for the independent retailers. How I see it is, and these are not just words, and I want to give you a personal experience. I want to share with you a personal experience that we had, because it may look as we're a big company, but we've suffered in the past, and we're a big company because we work every day from 8 to 7, so that's 11 hours. I eat at my desk in front of I haven't had lunch yet, and it's 2 o'clock over here. And the reason why we're growing so much. But I believe in competition very strongly, because every time there's competition, it's a game changer factor, and it gives a possibility to the best, as it happens during revolutions, it gives a possibility to the best to emerge. So how I see it is, and I'll tell you why. I'm very confident in competition, because up to 10 years ago, let's say in worldwide, in the balloon business, there were 5 companies. I'm not saying that there were 5 companies. Let's just say that there were 5 companies. Let's say there was, the Grabo Group, and there was Anagram, and there was Qualitex, and there was, Wild Balloon and Beautiful Balloon, whatever they are now. And so that in an ideal world, that would have meant that I would have had 20% share of the market. Obviously, some companies had more, some companies had less, but 1/5.
Yeah.
Now, 2019, there are 20 companies at least producing balloons.
Yeah.
Did my market share go down from 1/5 to 1/20th?
Mm-hmm.
No, sir, it did not. My market share probably has increased. If you ask our competitors, it has increased. But not only it has increased, but we more than tripled our sales output in the last 10 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Why was that? Because when we had to face the competition of more than 15 other companies, we didn't just say, "Oh my God, this is going to be very hard. What do we do?" We raised our stakes to the point that we couldn't touch them anymore if we had a ladder. I mean, we started doing better quality balloons, better looking balloons. So we've always raised our game. We've always done beautiful balloons. We get them quite often, but it's never enough, because it's always a good news. Just Facebook messages or Instagram messages or mails saying, "My God, I mean, your balloon has been in my window for 2 weeks and it's helium inflated and it hasn't deflated yet." And I just have to, pump it up a little bit, and it's, my God. So we've really raised our games. And what happens when competition hits not the producers but the retailers? I just feel very confident that in a very short amount of time, what will happen is there'll be a recognition of the fact there's just a limited amount of decorations, there's just a limited amount of services that can be given out through big chains, because they're not artists. Balloon decorator are artists, so they thrive on creativity, on imagination, on beautiful designs.
Yeah.
The decorators, the independent decorators, the artists, will do something that looks much better. And they'll give a better service. They'll have more creativity. They'll have the possibility by doing something that takes more talent, that takes more labor work, to even charge more and to actually,
I think it's you're not the first to go down this route. We all know that. And one of the things I've always said is that don't look at yourself as somebody that is selling just a couple of balloons. Look at it from that balloon. You're selling a completely different product. So I understand that. I understand that if you're a balloon decorator, a balloon artist, you can have it's a very different client base to somebody just going into a shop and buying a single balloon that says happy 12th birthday or whatever it might say. So yeah, I completely agree with you there.
I would invite any independent decorators to go into New Look and actually take a good look at the offer that's been given over there, because it's very standardized, more standardized, I think, than the actual community has grasped up to now. It's a very standardized procedure. It's just do a bouquet, add a balloon. The independent decorators, hopefully, and I know because I've seen them, I've met them, I work with them, are capable of doing much more, raising the game. And another factor, why could this be a game change? Not only a game changer, but an aid also to the market, and as a consequence to the independent to the independent retailer.
Can I just go back there a little bit,
Please.
Jonathan? So you're talking about it being very standardized and very simple. So exactly what is the offering? Is it just you go in, you can buy a single balloon or a bouquet of balloons, and that's it?
Yeah.
And how many stores is it in all the New Look stores?
It's in 4 New Look stores in the UK right now, and 2 in Ireland.
And that's it. But there's plans, I'm guessing, to expand to more stores.
Yeah, to more stores. Not to all of them, but to more stores. Yes.
So what is it? The larger ones, the inner city ones, or?
I'm pretty sure it's going to be the larger ones. But I'm supplying balloons. I'm not managing or directing the operation. I wouldn't know how to call this party, but he's definitely directing the whole operation, and I'm just being told supply this, supply that.
Yeah.
That's my position right now.
So the training of the staff, that is happening. Who's doing that? Is that something that is people within our industry? Is it somebody independent? Is it the stores themselves?
No, it's. I know it's been held in the UK. But it has nothing. Grabo didn't do anything. We didn't spend €1. We didn't advise one person. We didn't supply any other informations that could go towards creating an army of decorators.
So this is all. So you're the person, the company that approached you with the idea initially. They are running that whole side of things as well.
Yes.
I just wanted to understand exactly what part you're playing. If you were doing all the training for all the stores, if you were providing all the equipment, if you were doing that whole thing. But effectively, what you're saying you're doing is just supplying the stock. Is that right?
Supplying the stocks, correct.
Okay, no, I think it's good to have that clear. So it's only in 4 stores at the moment, 2 in Ireland. There are plans to take it further to the larger stores, what you're saying, but probably not all of the stores in the UK.
I can't. I really. Even if I had more information, I would be happy to share with you. Things. Things are not definite. Things are never definite, so...
Absolutely, yeah.
It's hard.
So it sounds to me at the moment this is more of a trial than anything else. It's in a few stores. Let's see how it goes. Is that correct, or are the plans in place?
That's what it is. That is very correct. That is very correct.
That's good. You were continuing. I interrupted you there, and you were continuing on to something else. Can you remember what it was you were continuing on to? Because I can't.
Not because I have a good memory. I have a terrible memory. I just have a.
Okay.
No, what I was saying, and I can see this because every country has their own history, but it looks as if the balloon business has this peculiarity. More balloons there are, more offer there is, more demand that creates. Yeah. I'm sorry, I don't want to say something that may sound completely out of track, but if you've seen any TV series, that how the drug works. That the offer creates the demand, and I think if you watched Narcos or Gomorrah or any of those, that the offer creates the demand. And in this case, I think it's very similar. The offer creates the demands, as in greeting cards. And I think that since we are in the social media era, especially with Instagram or Facebook, that it's all image driven, it might happen, and I'm pretty sure it might, but I can't read the future. That slowly and when possible, I'm not talking about envelopes here. Slowly and when possible, balloons won't replace the greeting cards, but they'll kind of work together, and the balloons will always grow more and more as long as they can be found. Mm-hmm. So, what does this mean? There's a big, fat, ugly new player in the market that nobody wants, but with potentially, I don't know, 150, 200 stores, I don't know. Mm-hmm. But what does this do? This will create more demand because it creates more offer. Mm-hmm. So the more balloons are seen and they come into our imagery, into our imagination, into our fantasy, into our mind, more people will want balloons. Because maybe right now, if you go to a party and there's no balloons, people don't even notice. Oh, there's no balloons. No, it doesn't make a difference. But maybe in 5 years, people will be, oh, this is a party. Why aren't there any balloons?
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
Already, what do you think? You're a balloon man, and
I agree. I've always thought that it's the old adage that if you're going to open a Chinese restaurant, where's the best place to open it? It's where all the other Chinese restaurants are, and it's because people go there because they want a Chinese meal. And I think that's what there's an element of that here, because if you are raising awareness of balloons, then you, as you say, as more people become aware of them, it's like the organic craze that's happened over the last few years, 5-6 years. That is still going so strong. And now weddings, if somebody's having a wedding and they're wanting balloons, very rarely are they saying, I want, bunches of 3. Well, a lot of people still do, but the organic side of things, particularly for the Instagram type of people, that's what they want. And so it's created that demand. And the fact that there's more and more people doing the organic doesn't take away from those that are. So I do completely understand that, and I agree. I think that if there is a greater awareness, then the demand will increase because of that awareness. It's just that I think a lot of people see it as their direct competitors, more competitors in the market. So I think it does depend how you look at it. But yeah, I agree with you.
It's really. I wouldn't be stating this again if it didn't if it hadn't affected us personally a few years ago.
Yeah.
Certainly, you see. Oh my God, there's 15 more companies in our same business. Our market share is going to completely crash. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm not sure about the market share, but I'm sure that there were more producers and the market became bigger.
Yeah.
The more you feed the market, the bigger it becomes, the more final consumers will come back to you and buy balloons and sustain your business. Sustain the business of independent, who will sustain the business of wholesalers, that will sustain the business of producers, that will again sustain the business of independents.
Absolutely.
So it's all a circle how I see it. I know right now the bruise is still pretty bad, because I'm sure about that. Okay, it's been loud the first 2 days and then it ended, but I'm still sure that the bruise and the fear for the threat is there. Mm-hmm. But I honestly and deeply and dearly believe that it will be the possibility to expand our business overall, altogether, as a community, and to make it better, and to make it better, to make sure that we don't relax just because we have a safe and secure business. It means that if there's one grain of dust in my shop or in my window, I will clean that grain of dust. It means that if my balloons are 1% faulty, I need to take that down to 0.8. If my balloons don't look good, I need to do that better. If my inks are not nice and shiny, I need to find a better ink. If my balloon bouquet isn't the best that I could have done today, I'm doing something wrong and I need to do it better all the time. Because Absolutely. This business needs everybody in this business, especially the decorators, to deliver a great product. Mm-hmm. We're in charge about the quality. We're in charge about giving a nice balloon. But you see, I'm keeping it simple over here. A nice balloon to me is a simple balloon because I want to exploit the potentials of the decorators that are really such a big part of this business. They put the balloons in the party. They do the decorations for a person who's asked for a decoration. Yeah. We can only go that far. But if we all work together and we all create a collective consciousness, then we can really do something big for our business.
Yeah. Jonathan, I really appreciate you doing this. I think it says a lot of you actually being willing to do this and to face it directly and to understand and be open and honest. So I really appreciate you doing this. But you've given us a really good explanation there. So thank you so much. I think we're going to call it a day there. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I also haven't had my lunch yet. So, thank you so much for doing this. I really, really appreciate it. So thank you so much, Jonathan.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you too.
And thank you, everybody out there, for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.